Okay, so I think I've found a critical bug in the workflow processing, and I wanted to put out this video to kind of illustrate it, to make it easier to follow. So let me first describe this little tester app that I have. So over here in the editor screen, we have two sheets in our app, a main sheet where we enter in values that we want to perform a calculation with, and then we have this calculation sheet which gives us a list of results. And I've tied these together with a code, right? So when I enter in a row, I'm going to put in a code that's going to tie them together so my workflow can pull in the appropriate rows to perform the calculation on. Now on my view, the form, when it is saved, I've attached, whoops, wrong one, main form. So in my form, when I save, I've attached an action. Now this mimics the application where I've noticed this issue in. So I have the set reset flag action. So let me go and show you what that's doing real quick. So here's the set reset flag action. And what it's doing is it's setting flag 1 and then resetting flag 1. And then just to show you what those are doing, setting flag 1 just sets the value to true, and then reset flag 1 just sets the value to false. Now why am I doing that? Because what this is actually doing is when I save, I'm triggering off 3 updates to that row. So I have the initial save, and then I have the setting of the flag and the resetting of the flag. So I'll end up with 3 triggers, 3 row updates, right? So the workflow can potentially be triggered off of. And so now let's look at that workflow. So in the workflow, it's called process update, and when it happens, right, any change to a main row, right, if stop future processing is not equal to true, then it does these sets of steps. The first thing it does is it sets the flag stop future processing, right, and that's done through an action, and I won't go into that action. And then I perform a calculation, and basically, without going into the action, it just simply subtracts the value that I've entered from the result column. And then I want to mark the row as calculated, right? So to try to prevent it from being calculated again, all right? So what I'm noticing is that when I go through and do the 3 updates, or when the 3 updates are submitted, that they come in and they get processed, but the flags are getting reset so they don't get processed. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to enter in a new row here. I'm going to give it the code value. Oh, before I do that, let me show you right now the value of C is 50 in the result column. We'll see this over in the sheet because I'll flip over there in a minute. But so I come in, I enter in the row C, and I'm going to put in a value. Let's just make it easy and put 10 in there. So it was 50. So I expect that when I process this, that I'm going to decrement that result by 10, when I should end up with 40. When I save it and I go to the sheet, go to the main sheet, I'll see that row come in. There it is. And immediately goes into the workflow and sets this value to true. And then you can see it's supposedly performed the calculation. If I go over to the calculation row, you can see it's performed the calculation. And then it sets the flag that triggers off another update, right? And what you didn't see this time around is that it cleared these both out and then processed again. And now you see it sets to false, cleared them out, and it's processing them again. So basically what's happened is each instance of that workflow, for whatever reason, the row is getting reset. But watch over here, the calculation was actually performed multiple times. So it was performed 3 times and decremented. So this sheet is getting reset, but the calculated value is staying the same. So we have different states each time that workflow is triggered, and that's not good, right? I think that's a bug. I don't think these values should be getting reset. I think they should stay based on the first workflow that's processed, so that when the second one comes through, it sees this value as true and it's ignored, and same with the third one. I don't know, somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. But anyway, that's what I'm seeing here. I hope this makes sense. If it's not, please post some questions to follow up. Thanks.